Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Beyond the Comfort Zone. My name is Yusra Ishaq. I'm a health and fitness behavior change coach working with women from all over the globe, helping them achieve their health and fitness goals. Now, today's topic is an interesting one, and it's about body fat. And it's not about how to lose body fat, right? We're going to talk about the importance of body fat and what are the ways that we store them and whether where we store fat is important. Okay, so the first question is having body fat important? Yes, it is, right? Body fat has some major roles. It plays major roles in our body, including providing us with energy, right? Including absorbing some fat soluble vitamins. Some vitamins are absorbed in adipose tissue, so those tissues are important, right? It's important for our overall health and immunity and functions. So don't be trying, right, to diet and lose all the body fat. That's not healthy for you. Okay, now, is where we store fat important? Yeah, it absolutely is. It matters where we store it. Now, we store fat in three areas, right? So number one, subcutaneously. This is right under our skin. This is the fat that we don't like, right? This is the fat that we see, and it's the one that freaks us out and the one that we don't like. I'm sorry, ladies, but this is actually the safest place for you to store a body fat. If you have a body fat, this is where you want it to be. Okay, so subcutaneously. Another place that we store fat is in our muscles. So this is called intramuscular fat. The third fat, right, the third area where we store fat is around our organs, and this is visceral fat. Now, this is the fat that we really need to be wary of, right? Having a lot of this fat on our organs increases our risk of things like diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, and even cancer. Right now, how do we know at what point are we going to move from one fat area to another? I'm glad you asked. So to explain this in simple terms, let's pretend you have a cup, right? You have a cup, and this cup fills up with body fat. So it fills up, it goes subcutaneously under your skin, it fills up, it fills up, it fills up. When the cup starts to spill, that's when the fat stores start to be directed towards your organs, right? Towards, it gets stored viscerally, which is the dangerous place to store body fat, right? Now, the kicker is there isn't a blanket number for everybody as far as how big our cup is. We each have a unique sized cups. Some people have larger cups, some people have smaller cups. And this is why you can find people who have higher BMI, overweight, obese, but they're considered healthy obese because they have a bigger cup. They have a higher capacity to store body fat in those healthier regions before it starts to accumulate viscerally. While other people, like South Asian descent, I could probably even say Arabs, right? We have smaller cups. So it really doesn't take much for us to for our cups start to spill and get into trouble. And this is why you may find an Asian person who's not overweight, but they could be challenged with diabetes purely because, hey, their capacity to store fat in other areas other than viscerally is smaller, right? So even if it's a bit of weight gain, especially when you hit menopause, when we start to store fat around the abdominal region, when it goes viscerally, this is when, as women, we get into so much more trouble. And again, it's why when you're at that stage, you need to be healthier because it matters. But that's a whole different topic, right? It's a whole different topic, right? So I wanted to create this video to bring about a few points. Number one, body fat is important. Our goal is not to totally remove it. We need it, right? It's just to control how much of it we have. That's the goal, right? The second thing to remember is where we store it matters. And we each have a unique capacity of how much we can store in those healthier regions before we start storing them into the dangerous regions. And this is going to be dependent on genetics and ethnicity. Right? So, and the third point is just to reiterate is, yeah, where you store it matters. It does. Because so if you're someone who's of South Asian, descent, or even you're someone who's genetically predisposed to things like diabetes and cancers, you do want to be careful because, your genetics are already, they put you at a higher risk already, right? And then when you start storing fat in the visceral area, the abdominal region inside, this just increases your risk, especially if you're at your late 30s, if you're a woman and you start to get into perimenopause and then through your 40s and the menopause hits. This is such a critical area for us where we need to be our healthiest self. Exercise, resistance train, eat well. All right. I hope this video was helpful. Any thoughts, any comments, drop them down. Please hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my other amazing videos that I'm going to keep sharing. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.